So how and why triathlon? Why did you start doing triathlon?
I was playing soccer and sort of like later in life and kind of realised I was getting overweight and slow from a few comments from other guys that I was playing with, the younger guys. So I sort of started running a bit. That's all I really did, started running a little bit, and after a few years, soccer finished, I just kept the running going a little bit, just done a few half marathons and that sort of thing. And then I started mountain biking a little bit for maybe a year or so, and then for some reason just decided to do a triathlon.
So the mountain biking was the first time you were on a bike?
From when I was a kid, yeah.
So you'd never done any cycling, road cycling, nothing like that? It was mountain biking
like
started?
That. No, I mean, my wife, Leanne, was always trying to get me on a bike, and I don't know why. I just said, what do you want to do that for? It wasn't one of those things I'd ever really considered about to do.
And when was the first triathlon?
I don't know, 3-4 years ago.
That's all?
Yeah. It was the Moreton Bay Olympic.
At
Clontarf.
Clontarf, right?
Yeah.
I
think. Yeah.
And that was before Pursuit?
Yeah.
So you did that triathlon by yourself?
Just,
run, swim?
Yep. Yeah, I just started swimming at the pool a bit, and I don't know, just a little bit of training and that sort of thing, and just decided to do it, I guess.
Just jump straight in?
Yeah.
What kind of bike did you have?
I can't remember. It wasn't a mountain bike. It was a road. I think it was a road bike. Yeah.
Okay, I want to talk about the biking then. So, how did you really take to that straight away, or?
I'd never ridden with anyone, so I never knew. I had no idea where I was from a riding perspective. But I'd done quite a lot of mountain biking. I probably had a year of mountain biking, three days a week.
Okay.
So I'd go mountain biking on the weekends, and during the week I might do it a couple of times in the afternoons.
And then you just got the road bike for the specifically for the triathlon?
Honestly, I can't remember. Yeah, I really can't remember. I don't know. Had a few I remember having a few stacks on the mountain bike, and that kind of maybe turned me off a little bit, and started riding on the road a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. Just get out there with the cars, less dangerous.
Yeah. Well, I kind of figured, it's easy if a car hits me, it's not as embarrassing as hitting a tree on your own.
Yeah. Right.
So I don't know, but for some reason I just started doing a bit of road riding,
and obviously just took to it.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
So when did you realise that you could ride?
I don't know.
Can you remember your result in that first triathlon?
No. I'd have to go back and have a look. No, I remember the run being pretty painful. I remember that. Yeah.
It was Olympic, was it?
It was Olympic distance. Yeah. The only sort of result that I really remember well was probably my first Sunny Coast.
Right.
Yeah, that was.
Was that with Andy or with Pursuit?
That was just before. After that, I signed up to Pursuit.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you do a good bike up there then?
I think it was okay.
Yeah.
2:30 or something.
Okay.
The whole race was just under 5 hours, like a couple of seconds under 5 hours.
Was it? That was before training with Andy?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So, and I was chuffed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you were a little bit bigger. Was it just about the exercise? Did you do anything specifically around nutrition?
I completely changed how I ate. Yeah. So bread went out, pastas went out, probably more protein, sort of stuff. Yep.
And that was just something that you did by yourself?
Just decided that I didn't want to be overweight.
Yeah, you didn't go see anyone? Or?
No.
Yeah.
Read a few things like everyone does, and a little bit of research in that. And my father got diabetes.
Yeah, okay.
So that kind of, he was looking into everything at the same time.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So you did a couple of Ironmans. You've done, your first one was at Cairns? Or Port
Macquarie.
Port Macquarie.
Yeah.
And that was just under 11?
Yeah. Yep.
And then Cairns was 10:30?
Yep.
And then a sub 10 at Boston. So it's 3 Ironmans you've done
Yeah.
now. So going into the ITUs, did it become a goal to represent Australia for the ITUs, or is that something that you had in your head, or was that a goal?
Not really. I mean, I probably thought it was always one of those things that was always out of reach, so it never really entered my mind too much. And then I got a good result in Harvey Bay. And
that wasn't a podium, was it?
It was second or third.
Yeah, okay, right, it was.
Harvey Bay, yeah. So I got a good result there, and then I had a good result in the duathlon at Springfield that year. Yeah. I think it was a 4th. And I don't know, I think I kind of mentioned it to Andy, and then Andy sort of picked that race in Tasmania as a qualifier, and I just thought, kind of, why not? Just give it a go and see what happens, and it just worked out.
So that race, let's talk about that, because that was a win.
Yeah.
That was the first time you won a race?
I'd won a Bribey race before that, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're we know you're in a tough age group, a pretty competitive age group. Talk about that Tassie race. Like, you went down by yourself?
I had a friend come down with me.
Yep.
I mean, it was a great race. It was a beautiful spot. It was a tough race.
The photos look pretty good.
It was sensational as far as a setting. It was a bit bizarre because it was so relaxed. You used to up here transition being closed off, and all the TAs being there, not letting anybody through. And I mean, the transition there were kids running through there, and it wasn't sort of marked off. And I remember the day before, I was kind of freaking out because I couldn't find anywhere where it said what time transition opened or anything like that. And I sort of asked someone, and they asked Bill around the corner, and so I said, what time do you reckon we'll open, Bill? And that's how I found out what time it started.
Yeah.
It was pretty relaxed. I mean, as you came out of the swim, you just yelled out your number, and that was your time.
Yeah, right.
That sort of stuff. But beautiful swim. It was flat. It was perfectly flat. You just went from one corner of the bay to the other.
Cold?
It would have been. It was well within wetsuit. It would have been under 20. It would have been 17 or 18 or something like that. Yeah. And then, the bike was just sort of undulating, probably similar to the Sunny Coast course.
Okay.
But there was cars on. It wasn't
closed off. Yeah, you're right.
No, it wasn't closed off, so there's kind of cars buzzing past you quite a bit.
No close calls or anything like that?
No, not for me.
Yeah.
No, it went okay. And no aid stations.
Yeah, right.
On the bike, you had to, they had a tent there that a friend could pass you the stuff.
Yeah.
And then the run was half on sand.
Yeah.
It was half on the beach, so that was kind of different, and that was pretty hard.
Really compacted sand? Like, did you really notice
most
it?
of the way, yeah. But it was, you could definitely feel it was different. And I mean, everything went to plan. The run was really good, bike was really good.
And you won that day. So did you have have presentations and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, they had presentations and that sort of thing. So I think it was Tassie's main long distance race. So there was quite a few people there.
Yeah. And then did you know that was Harvey Bay also a qualifier?
Yeah.
So you had a podium there and you got a first at Tassie. Did you know that you're probably going to make the team?
I was fairly confident that was enough points. You don't know who's going to request qualification, so I think it goes over your 5 best races, and you get points based on where you come. But I mean, it sort of ended up that not many people actually applied for the race, so there was plenty of spots available.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there was a Penticton in Canada.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to talk about also just before the lead in to Canada. You'd done the Boston, I don't know 8 months before.
Yep.
So you've done a few Ironmans, done a few long courses. Your training, you changed it up a little bit specifically for this race.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So I just decided. I suppose I was feeling a bit guilty at home because the hours away. Not from any pressure from home. That was just a personal thing from me. And I'd read about these VO2 programs that, sort of basically the concept was, less hours, higher intensity. So I went and got a VO2 test and got a program based on that VO2 test. And basically it was just higher intensity intervals pretty much all the time, but you didn't do the same amount of hours.
So less hours, but higher quality.
Yeah.
How did that affect you? like week to week, how did you feel doing it?
Pretty ordinary. Yeah.
You were bugging?
It didn't. I didn't. After I'd done it for 3 or 4 weeks, I didn't really feel like it was for me. But I'd kind of decided to do it. I had the program, so I decided to, continue on. Yeah.
And it was 8 or 10 week program, was it?
It was it was a 12-week program.
12 weeks.
But I think going into the race in Penticton was about 9 weeks of that program.
Yeah. And so did that make you not feel very confident? Like, if you're 4 weeks in and you're going, okay, I don't really feel like this is for me.
Yeah.
But you kept going.
Yeah.
Did that make you feel different compared to other races that you've done?
Yeah. Really different. Yeah. Like going into, I think Tweed and Tassie, I'd been doing a program and feeling really good. And I felt confident going into those races. Going into Penticton, I felt like I had a lot of niggles. There was a lot of hard, high-intensity running and body wasn't feeling good, so therefore the mind wasn't feeling real great. On the flip side, though, the bike felt fantastic.
Did it?
Yeah.
So just go, like some of those training, like we noticed some of those training sessions, you'd have to go up to Mount Cootha and just do laps and laps, trying to get that heart rate going, and that must have been killers. You're doing like 5 or 6 Coothas. Yeah,
I think at the peak of it was 6 times 20 minutes at 80% or above heart rate. Yeah, and it was hard. Yeah.
And you seem to do a little bit more by yourself. How did you find that?
Sometimes it's good, but the majority of the time, it gets a little bit mundane, and and does start to play with your head a little bit.
Yeah, you didn't miss this at all?
Oh, sure.
So you're in Canada. You're just about to do the race. You're not feeling all that great. What about the atmosphere? So it's World Championships.
Yeah.
And it's a whole week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like of different races, build up and whatever. What was the whole town like? Was it is it something different to a normal race? Was it?
Not really. It was a little bit bizarre, to be honest. Like the week started with duathlons and that sort of stuff. It was a pretty big town, and it was for Canada. It's kind of like their coast, their Sunshine or Gold Coast, I guess. So the actual triathlon sort of event was a small part of the town, and when I first got there, I sort of said to people that I was with, it just felt a bit bizarre because it was pretty quiet. So it wasn't exactly what I expected. I thought it would be a bit busier, a bit more stuff happening.
Was everyone into it though, like the locals, or not really?
Not particularly.
You didn't get that?
No, I didn't really feel that too much. They kind of sort of seemed like they had other stuff to do, really. So so that was a little bit weird. But once race day came, it was different. Yeah, sort of a lot more involvement from the community and stuff.
It was on the weekend too, wasn't it?
Well, it went through the whole week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But your race was on.
My race was on my duathlon race was on a Monday.
Yeah.
And the long distance was on the Sunday after. Yeah.
Did that help you to do that duathlon at the start? Like to get into it?
Yeah, it got rid of the nerves a little bit. Yeah, and it was good just to get a race out of the way. That was a good feeling. Yeah.
Yeah. So what was the best part of the main race, the long distance race? What was the best part for you?
Finishing it. Yeah.
What about the bike?
It was a tough bike course. It kind of, I felt it played with your head a little bit because the first 40 kilometres were dead flat, super fast, and then you done 2 laps that were hilly.
Yeah, right.
So you kind of got this confidence from the first 40k.
Yeah. So it's a little bit like Sunny Coast.
Yeah, really similar. Yeah.
A bit harder, like the hills, like it was a bit
there was one big hill there, was about 2 or 3 kilometres long. That was a consistent climb. Yeah. Sort of like Mount Me or something like that.
Okay,
yeah.
So that's
and you've done that twice.
Yeah, and it's a funny distance too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So what were the distances again for the?
It was 3k, 120, and 30k run.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it was a little bit hard to distinguish. Was it a half Ironman pace or was it a full Ironman pace?
And you obviously went at half Ironman pace.
The bike, I didn't have a perfect day. No. The swim went pretty good. I had a few issues on the bike, just with nutrition. I lost a water bottle. I've got a new, the water bottle at the front. I went to fill it up and all the plugs fell down into the bottom of it. And so for the whole race, I had sort of water splashing all over me.
Oh, right.
That wasn't kind of perfect. But as far as the bike went, it was good. Yeah, it was. I felt good on the bike. Yeah.
And the run, that was hard.
It was terrible.
Is that the hardest run you've done?
Yeah, I think so.
And that was 30k?
Yeah.
What time did you do the running, do you know?
It was over 5 minutes a k. I think it was 5:10 or 5:15 a k or something like that.
That's terrible. I can't believe it.
It didn't feel good. Yeah, I was disappointed. I had higher hopes for the run.
Really?
Yeah.
But, you finished 10th?
Yeah.
So you 10th in the world for your age group.
Mm-hmm.
How many other Australians were in your age group?
Not many. Might have been 1 or 2, I think. Right. Yeah.
Did you see him out in the course?
Yeah.
Had you met him before?
I knew one guy just from different races that I've met a couple of times. One of the guys I met in Tassie, he was from the coast, and I saw him. But yeah, I mean, other people you'd see around, but I didn't know them. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now's the time not to be humble or whatever, but you got to wear the Australian uniform and all that kind of stuff. How did that feel?
It was great.
Yeah.
The atmosphere was fantastic. It was, and just seeing other people out on the course with the Australian kit on, and the encouragement that everybody gave each other was really, really good. Yeah. And
you were the number 1 Australian,
in my age group.
Yeah. So you finished the highest Australian.
Don't know. I guess.
I can look at that.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then you had your family there.
Yep.
Kids, everything. They must have been over the moon.
Yeah.
They enjoyed the whole day.
Well, yeah, they did. But they've been to a few races now, so they kind of, and I understand fully, they kind of do their own thing for the day.
Yeah, it's a long day. But do they sort of grasp what it was? Like it was
I think so. Yeah, you would, when the kids see you in the Australian kit and that sort of stuff, it's I think it's really good for them.
Yeah, cool. So you're bugging now, aren't you?
Pretty much.
You're pretty tired. You haven't done much running since.
No. Well, I don't feel good running at the moment. I got a few niggles there that I want to try and get rid of.
Do you know, like having gone through that experience of that training program, and you've done a few different training programs now, leading into different races. Like, you don't think you'll do that again?
Not for the run. I felt that you're sort of doing a lot of your intensity running at 9 or 90 or 100%, and my body didn't like it. So I got it done, but I can't say that I enjoyed it. It was hard, and I felt it was really taxing on my body. So I wouldn't do the run like that again. I feel with the run, if I'm doing more consistent, longer running or more Ks per week, I feel a lot better.
What about that? I haven't really talked to you about the training of the swimming.
Yeah.
How was that different? Was it high intensity?
Well,
Was it hard to do?
They the program never really concentrated on the swimming too much, and it was a little bit the same. I talked to the guy that done the program for me at the start, and I said after a few of the running sessions, and I kind of said, I don't know if my body's going to be able to handle that. And he said, well, you just do it on the bike. So it's more, it seems to the theory comes more based around the general overall fitness and getting your VO2 up.
Not into the specifics of each.
Not as much, no. So, but I felt it really helped me on the bike. I'd probably do the bike training again.
Yeah. So what's next now? After you've represented Australia, you've come in the top 10 in the world. Each of your Ironmans, you've come down half an hour plus, and you're close to qualifying. Kind of. Yeah. Is that a goal, or you don't know now, or up in there?
I suppose I don't feel like I've got an obsession to get to Kona. It's not something that I feel I have to do. If the opportunity come up, of course, it'd be great. So there is a race in China that I'm looking at next year that might be my main race for next year, and it's kind of got the cheap qualifying spots for Kona.
Yeah.
It's only a 70.3. So I think
you wouldn't feel guilty about taking a spot.
No, not really.
But apart from that, you've got how do you think it's going to end? Like, where do you think this triathlon's going to end?
I'd like there to be some longevity there.
Yep.
That's kind of why I probably tried the last program, something different, just to keep things a little bit, fresh. The main reason I kind of do it.
It sounds like it might have taken a couple of years off you, though. It
could have, yeah. But it's mainly for health and fitness, and I suppose that's kind of more what I want to try and focus on. It's great to do well in races, but I've got to remind myself something that...
You wouldn't sort of start concentrating on maybe cycling? I mean, like we all see how you are on the bike.
Yeah.
That doesn't interest you? Maybe doing a couple of those velothons or something like that?
No, not really. I suppose I like triathlon because of the variety.
Yeah.
It keeps me interested, and I suppose that's why I started it. I was just running, and after a while, I was just running all the time, and I like that variety of the three sports.
Yeah.
And I'd like to be a better runner, so that's probably the concentration going to be for the next 12 months.
Cool. Anything else you want to say? Anything else you want to mention?
Really?
Not really?
No, not really.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. Well, that's it.
Okay.
I think we can go from there. It's about 20 minutes.